so no one can hear me scream as you kill me.
Here, we'll take room 2C.
You didn't even deny it.
I'm not gonna kill you, Carmine.
Okay. What are those red lights?
Those are recording devices.
Why are there so many?
You know, backups and backups of backups and things like that. And...
I want to sit on that side. I feel trapped on this side. It's a whole psychological thing.
Oh, come on. You've got 2 seats over there. You can kick your feet up and...
Yeah, but what if I want to make a dash to the door? I got to get through you. And it makes me feel enclosed.
Okay, all right, fine. Here,
Thank you.
You can have that side. Door's locked either way.
Wait, the door's locked? Why'd you lock the door, Bundy?
Well, you know, can never be too safe.
But you know I'm not up to something. You're the only one with a gun in this room and a katana. If anybody's up to something, it'd probably be you. You're not gonna kill me, are you?
No, I'm not gonna kill you, Carmine.
I'm sorry. You forgive me? I'm sorry. Bundy, I'm sorry.
You got nothing to apologize to me for, Carmine.
Let me out!
Carmine,
I've
you're...
got a family! Don't kill me!
Carmine, if I was gonna kill you, why would I record it?
You can always delete it after. And plus...
Okay, all right, Carmine, if you want to leave, I can open the door.
That was a test. Okay, let's continue.
All right.
I was testing you, Bundy. I wanted to see if you'd let me go. Now I know that you don't want to kill me. Unless that was a bluff. Were you bluffing? Were you not actually going to open the door? Open the door, Bundy. Leave the door open.
I was going to open the door.
All right, leave the door open, Bundy.
You want to leave the door open? We can leave the door open.
Yeah. Is it open?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. My nerves have been satiated. You got me any cigars?
No, unfortunately I don't smoke anymore. You want a burger? Get you a burger.
So I can die faster?
I don't think a burger's gonna kill you. You don't look like you've eaten a sandwich in 3 weeks.
Okay.
What about a coffee? You want a coffee, Carmine?
If you ain't got no cigars, no. You got bourbon? Bourbon? Any bourbon?
We'll get you a bourbon after this. I want you to have clear mind, Carmine.
That's not true.
That is true. I do want you to have clear mind.
Hey, if I got a clear mind, maybe I'd start to scheme and withhold information. If I was drunk, my tongue would be loose. You'd probably want me drunk, but you'd not disclose that on the record. That's what a smart detective would do. Get the person who's trying to incriminate drunk as a skunk, but then say he's sober. Whatever comes out, I guess, can hold up in court. When are you going to read me my rights, by the way?
Well, I'm going to get to that part once you stop talking about cigars and bourbon.
And when are you going to admit that this is not a conversation? This is a fucking interrogation, okay? Cut the shit, Bundy.
It's actually an interview, Carmine. It's not an interrogation. Alright, it's 7:43 p.m. Eastern Standard, July 15th, 2023. Badge number 251, Detective Supervisor Jeffrey Bundy interviewing. You want to state your name for the record, Carmine?
752 Correctional Officer Carmine Costello.
Alright. So we are here with CO Costello. You don't mind if I just call you Carmine, do you?
No, you call me by my full title.
Okay, so...
This is an interview, right?
You said,
we're not friends.
Okay, CO Costello it is. We can do that.
Yes.
All right. Carmine, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney being present. If you cannot afford one, the state will appoint you one if one's available. That being said, you're not a suspect in what I want to talk to you about. I'm not here to press charges against you, and in fact, I'm pretty sure you've been consistently victimized based on some stuff that I've seen.
Finally, someone who's got a fucking ounce of sense.
Well.
Where the hell have you been all this time, Bundy?
That's on all the way.
I got fired because I was targeted You think the boys in blue would protect one of their own after being maliciously targeted, but no, they threw me to the wolves. That's whatever. Anyway, keep going. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're fine. Let's bust this back to the beginning, because it seemed like you started getting targeted. I mean, you've been targeted for a long time, but it seems like this particular series of things started right after you got fired from the PD.
You'd be wrong in that.
Really? Okay, well, when did this start?
It started around a month and a week ago. So that's a month, a whole month, 30 days, and add a week, like around 37 days. You go with numbers?
Relatively so. That would be, what, the 15th? June 3rd, give or take a little bit?
Somewhere around then. There should be a report with the title, Carmine Gets Kidnapped. One evening, a very uninteresting evening, just another mundane day at the job. I'm doing my thing, working as a police officer. Traffic stop here, arrest there, frisk here, jaywalking citation there. And I get a call from a Mr. K. And I don't recall exactly what the call pertained, but he said something that angered me. So I called him a bozo, long-tittied son of a bitch. And that's all it took. That's all it took for him and his legion of goons to set their eyes on me. I guess I went too far with my insults. And ever since then, he's made it a point to ensure that I lose everything and everyone I love. You know, he fucked my fiancée. And he fucked my rebound girl, too. And, the day I got fired, one of the reasons they said I got fired was because I was kidnapped. They made it sound like I wanted to be kidnapped. They made it sound like I was complicit to being dragged up on a fucking crane. So cops had to come and shoot me out of that mess. They said it was all my fault, and the commissioner, God rest his soul, I do not hold this against him, but I guess he saw that as a camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, per se, and I was fired for that. Mr. K catches wind of this. He finds out that I've been fired. He's like, Carmine Costello. Now to make sure there was no way back for you in the unified police force. He tried to coerce me into crimes. He tried to talk me into committing crimes, doing boosts, and at every turn I rebuked that devil. I said, be gone! Be gone, filthy craven! I do not want to take part in your evil ways! He took offense to that, too. The way he saw it, I believe. He thought that he was offering me the world and I was spitting in his face. The way I see it, you know, different strokes for different folks. I don't want to rob candy from a baby and call that make a living off of that. How'd I sleep at night? I'm a good man, Bundy. A man with morals. Anyway, I did everything I could to ensure that I was never dragged into the pit of criminality. It happens to a lot of cops, you know, they get fired. Next thing you know, they're doing bullshit with a bunch of criminals selling guns. I don't want to live up to that legacy, so I decided that I'll join the DOC and do things right. The DOC took me on. I started working there, and guess what happens? Every single day I clock in, these 6 sons of bitches decide to break into Bolingbrook, this time wearing different outfits, going by the name Changaloa Cartel. Their leader, Patrone Rattlesnake El Serpentino, was Mr. K. They harass us at the prison, day in, day out. They try and break in and kill us. Try and kill us every single time. And we'd survive and we'd fight for dear life. By the skin of our teeth we survived, and well, it kept happening, and then the commissioner found out again, and the commissioner said, Carmine, for some reason, everywhere you go, death follows, and your liability. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to talk to the warden and you're probably gonna be suspended or something. But that didn't happen. The warden was a good man. Warden Bowman, he's a good man. He had faith in me. He believed in me. He understood the predicament I was in, and he decided that he was gonna go out on a limb for me, and he fought in my corner. And what happens next is it's a case with things pending against me. I don't know if I want to talk about it.
You don't. We can skip over that part if you want. Since
I would like to add, though, it's another attempt at them targeting me. I'd like to add that fact. Another attempt at them targeting me. And well, anyway, that whole incident made it so the warden's hand was forced and I was suspended. And that brings us to this day. Unless I missed something. I don't know. Now I'm suspended and fined from PD. Almost 30 days. I'm gonna reapply soon. It's my story, Bundy. It's my story.
Well, let's talk about some of these instances a little more individually. On June 28th, there was a situation where looks like yourself and Bobby Charles were kidnapped in a vehicle and shot just right in front of the prison. Can you tell me about that one?
It's another... There's another incident of me being targeted. Just saying that it was a regular occurrence. Nothing too interesting, but yes. It was, I believe it was the same people. It was dark, so I couldn't get a good look at their face, but I heard the rattle noises, and where he goes, that rattle noise follows him.
And when you say follows him, you mean Patrone, aka Mr. K, right?
Precisely, yes.
Okay, let's pull up another one. This one does involve charges against you, but I think the charges were dropped, if I'm not mistaken, or they've already been pressed or whatever. A contempt of court case where you were being transported to prison. Do you remember this one?
Oh, those charges were not dropped.
Okay. Is that just part of your record and it's not able to be appealed or something? Do you want to talk about that one?
It was a contempt, but it was something else. Oh, so there was a whole incident involving Mr. K where the judge felt that I insulted him and caused him great harm, and you know, as a payment for damages, she made me pay $69. I forgot to pay, so I didn't pay. The day elapsed, and they took me to court, and then the judge ruled in his favor, and I had to pay $69,000 or $6,900 along with a $71,000 fine, and I had a 100+ months of contempt. Just another day where I get fucked in the courtrooms. But yeah, that happened. What about it?
Well,
he was there. So was Ramos. He had an afro.
Yeah, it seems like there was an attempt on your life that day as well. Once you made your way up to prison, do you remember that?
Yes, well, I don't know the details, but I know people tried to break into prison. Wait, Bundy, what angle are you working? I'm curious, because I thought you were going to try and, you know, get me to incriminate myself, but you're actually... You believe what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah, to a degree I do.
Jesus. Of all the people that look into my plight, I didn't think you'd be the one. Thank you, I guess.
Well, what I'm looking for is the truth, Carmine, and I know you well enough to know that you're an antagonistic asshole, but that doesn't give people the right to shoot fucking rocket launchers at you either.
Yeah. I can't help it. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I understand why people target me because of the way I am, but that doesn't make it right.
There's another incident that I think you almost caught charges for. This was on the 29th? Here,
What happened on the 29th?
You read this one over. Oh, this was when Mama came up to visitation with you. You remember this?
Oh yeah, she pulled out a weapon and Jesus, you guys keep working at everything. She pulled out a weapon and I was working as a DLC guard and she was inside the confines of the prison and I tased her to disarm her because she wouldn't drop it. And then she started wriggling and then they started attacking me and Bobby. They cut us. They were not arrested though. They walked away.
When you say Bobby, do you mean Bobby Charles?
Bobby Charles, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the waterboarding guy, right?
He's not. That's a lie. Those are false allegations pushed against him. There are no victims that have come forth about him waterboarding anybody because it didn't happen.
No, he
It's a fucking
definitely...
stupid photo.
You and I both know he waterboarded that crippled guy.
What crippled guy?
The crippled guy that went to jail like, what was that, 2.5, 3 weeks ago?
That wasn't waterboarding.
Bobby said it was waterboarding when I talked to him.
Where's a body of water for him to waterboard him with? And where's any other proof apart from hearsay? He says wild things. He probably didn't even mean it.
Yeah, that's not how.
If he didn't do it, he wouldn't do it. Bobby's a good man.
Do you need to take a break on the recording to answer that, or do you want to silence it?
This might take a while, so I'm gonna answer and let them know I'm busy.
Okay. All right.
Hello? Hey, Kevin, Big Kev, how you doing? Yes, I very much so, but it might be done in a little bit. I could call you back, no problem. All right, let's fucking go. Thank you, take care. He said I love you, and I hung up.
Oh, well, that's establishing dominance. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You love me, motherfucker. I don't have to love you.
Yeah,
it's my house.
Keep them wanting more, right? That's the trick.
Exactly. Yeah. Is this still recording?
Yeah, this is still recording.
You can keep it on the record. I don't mind establishing dominance. I want a judge to hear that. I want them to know that I don't fuck around.
Okay, you said they started attacking you. Can you specify who was there?
Members of CG.
Alright, that's still vague as shit, Carmine. Do you remember anybody in particular who was present?
I mean, the ringleader, Mr. K. That psychopath. Oh my god. A day or two ago, that psychopath almost killed me. Oh my god, I forgot. He almost killed me. He fucking... Gee, he lured me into a fucking butchery in Orchardville and he fucking cut me, the sick bastard. How could I forget about that? He was freaking out and shit. He was let's tweaking and shaking and it was so crazy.
Let's build up to that one. I want to talk about some of the past stuff first so that I've got the narrative of how we got to where the fuck we're at now.
Okay. What do you want to hear?
Well, the same day that the mama stuff happened, looks like you were taken hostage in the jail. What can you tell me about that one?
I don't recall anything like. Maybe it happened. I'd have to, be shown details. Maybe I can remember, but I don't remember what happened. Maybe I'm not too sure though. Oh, I do remember. I remember.
FIB.
Shit.
I remember what happened.
All right.
Who do you got?
It was
with Carmine at the moment.
Good shit. All right, I got Miguel coming down as well.
Oh fuck.
We can tackle him right afterwards.
All right, perfect.
See you in a bit.
Yeah, I remember it was when the Spit Bandit got me.
The Spit Bandit?
Yeah, the Spit Bandit. All he does is ramen. He got me, that son of a bitch. He got me good. He held me up, took all my stuff. I was in cuffs, took me into solitary, made me watch a broadcast, okay, with the commissioner in it. And he said, now that's how you be a good cop. Telling me that I was a bad cop and I deserved everything that happened to me. And then because I'm a bad, shitty cop, and I gotta watch guys like the commissioner, God rest his soul, in order to improve on myself. There may have been a little bit of truth in that, but it came from him, so fuck it. Disregard it. You got a list of things, Jesus. You keep records, huh?
Well, I know about a lot about what's been happening with you. We can skip to some of the more interesting ones if you'd like. You on a time crunch, Carmine?
No time crunch, but I'm curious. I still don't know what your angle is.
Okay. Well, here let's push into this month. July 7th. There's an incident with an explosive at the jail. You remember that?
An explosive at prison?
Mm-hmm.
What day?
July 7th. This would have been about a week ago.
A week ago. Explosive at prison. Any details you can fill me in on? Jog my memory.
Let me see. You never submitted a statement on this one. Oh, actually, yes, you did. Something about the cartel. Waging war on Bolingbrook. And they breached the walls and got on top of a roof and shot an RPG at you.
Okay, yes, I recall. We just went over that. We went over that, didn't we? That's why I didn't think it was the same incident. But yes, I remember that.
Yeah, we went over this one.
Yeah, we went over that one, the RPG one. You said it where they shot us at prison? Same one, isn't it?
No, this was 2 weeks later.
Wait, it happened twice? I don't remember being shot with an RPG twice. It happened. I don't recall the one time. Or they threw Ricardo Gold, Ringo Gold's brother, off of the roof. Poor fella. And I was panicking. I was like, okay, now the cops are going to think we did it. And I'm like, okay, Bobby, be careful what you say. Just tell them the details. Don't lie. Tell them the truth. And then I hear... And that was all she wrote.
Yeah, according to Bobby's statement, the last thing that he heard you say was "Run, Bobby, run," but it was too late.
We were in cuffs. There was no running.
Yeah.
I think what I actually said was, "Bobby, I love you." What a life! What a life! You can get in. There's a lot of things that can happen to a man in the span of a month. I feel like I've lived 1,000 lifetimes, Bundy.
Okay, Carmine. Well, let's talk about more current events. These are going to be...
How'd the commissioner die?
We'll get to that one.
Okay.
July 12th, 2023. You and Franz Gall were going to get married. Can you tell me about that day?
Hey, Chief. How you doing, Chief? Thank you for being on my deathbed, Chief.
I'll be back in a little bit. The other one's gonna be...
Gotcha.
Who's the other one?
Did you hop on channel 11? I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm already on there.
What the hell's going on, Bundy? Is this a whole operation?
Yeah, you could say that.
Ready?
I mean, tend to. I mean, look, 2 or 3 of our police departments have been exploded, so we're doing a lot of work down here.
How many?
2 or 3.
Jesus. God.
Alright, Carmine. Focus up. You're getting ready to get married to Franz Gall. Tell me about that day. What happened?
I was gonna marry her. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was gonna marry her for a fucking sweet ride. She had such a nice fucking car. It was a beautiful car, let me tell you. Car's so nice you wouldn't believe it. It was I think $13 million S++ 101 given to her by little Goblino man, Francis J. Francis. And I was like, you know what? That car is too good for a stupid person like her. And we should probably get married so I can fix that for her. True love. Marriage is true love. But not her. True love for the car. Anyway, We get a marriage contract signed. One thing leads to the other. You know, we're having butterflies, time of our lives. You know, so much fun. And we're at the wedding. A bunch of people we didn't invite show up. A parishioner, a priest that she invited shows up. And we're going through our vows, reading out our little love letters to each other. I used ChatGPT to change Fran's Lamborghini to Fran's Gal. So it was like, oh, I love you so much, Lambo that goes vroom. And ChatGPT changed it to, I love you so much, Fran's Gal that goes vroom. And she fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But anyway, after that, she says, oh, I need to take a shit. She runs off. And then I see someone like cowering in the corner. I'm like, preacher, what is that over there? And the preacher's like, oh, what is it? I'll go check it out. So I'm the only one standing on the podium. Preacher's walking away. Fran's gal's outside taking a shit, apparently. And next thing you know, everything goes black, and I get flung into the air, and everybody's screaming, and there's smoke everywhere, and it was crazy.
It's a real shame that France did that. Did you like that?
You think she did it?
I know she did.
And that explains a lot, then.
Yeah. So it's not too hard to figure out what's going on at a scene like that whenever the bride-to-be is informing your greatest enemies where to find you.
She did. She sent me up. You know, she told Carmela, she told a bunch of people like Carmela and I think Pigeon Terra Nova to come up to the front. You know, I think she wanted to maybe kill him too. And Carmela, while I was on the floor, you know, slipping in and out of consciousness, I could have swore her tell Carmela I didn't mean to. I didn't want you to get hurt. And Carmela was like, why did you tell me to come to the front if you knew what was going on? And they started arguing and stuff.
Picking him up right now. I just need a welfare in 2 minutes. It's going to be by Marathon Avenue Heritage Hospital.
10-4. So France leans over Carmela and says, I'm sorry, I didn't want this to happen to you. And Carmela's going off about how France knew what was going to happen.
I can't say for certain that's what was said, but it's what I feel like I heard when I was incapacitated. Couldn't move. I was hearing ringing, and then I heard Carmela talking to who I'm guessing is Fran's Gal. And said all that, maybe. You still got that burger you offered?
Yeah, I got a burger for you, Carmine. Here. Got fries and a drink for you, too.
You know, I am a good man, Bundy. I am a good man. Just been caught between a rock and a hard place. And I would have liked the Bash to be there when I redeemed myself, you know? A part of me's hurting knowing that he'll never know. That the last thing he'll remember of me is my failures. You know, the last time I had a conversation with him, he looked me dead in my eye after smacking me in the face. It was at Sandy Shores, and he said, Carmine, what do I have to do for you to learn? Why do you always get caught up in these type of situations? Why is it when anything bad happens, you're at the center of it? Why can't you just fix yourself, Carmine? What do I have to do for you to learn? And he screamed, defuse the bomb, defuse the bomb.
Defuse the bomb.
And ran over to the Sandy Shores bomb. And you watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I've seen Breaking Bad.
You know Gustavo Fring when he walks away from the room with the old guy with the ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding,
yeah, he's
wheelchair?
just with his face all scrunched up and he's tapping the bell over and over again, yeah.
Yes, and then Gustavo walks out the door after everything's gone kablooey. Believe it or not, that's what kind of happened to me. I got a bunch of glass in my face, and after the explosion, I walked away, and I adjusted my shirt and stuff. I survived it, but my face was all fucked up. Apparently had a brain bleed, and I flatlined.
Jesus. Well, I'm glad you're still with us now.
Cut the shit. No, you're not.
Night welfare.
10-2. I've got him. I'm just putting a blacked out motorcycle helmet on his head.
10-4. Before that bombing, Carmine, what were you talking to members of CG about?
Before the bombing, members of CG?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to give me more details than that.
Well, your statement said that you were calling Mr. K for money, right?
I'm not a suspect, am I?
You were in custody when the second bomb was planted, Carmine. You actually
Am I a suspect?
You actually could not have planted that bomb, could you?
Okay. But what you're asking me about is if I was in contact with CG.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys were talking about.
If I recall, at Sandy Shores, Mr. K was screaming that he thought I did it, and I was put in cuffs, and I was detained for a while. Am I a suspect, Bundy?
I'm not suspecting you right now, Carmine.
So you don't suspect me of any crimes?
Depends on what your answer to this question is, I suppose.
I got some.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question. I'll answer when I have a lawyer present.
So you don't want to tell me what you were talking with Mr. K about that day? All right, we'll move on. You still up to answer other questions?
I'll be willing to answer it at a later time.
You want me to tell you my theory, Carmine?
Sorry?
You want me to tell you my theory?
Oh, all right, go for it.
I'm pretty sure that over the course of the last month to month and a half, you and Mr. K have been in an escalating, I'm not even going to call it a circle of violence. It's yeah, more like a line of violence, or just, I don't know, a fucking recycling center of violence, because he's the only one that seems to really be dishing it out. It starts off innocently enough, hammer here, breaking into prison with some negotiations there, but it starts ramping up slowly and over time, to the point where even you didn't even realize how fucking crazy things were sounding. They break into prison and they grab your buddy and they toss him in a helicopter and they splat him on the ground like he's a fucking pancake.
They did do that to Boringo.
Yeah, they're, your buddy Bobby Charles even, he's standing in visitation by himself, has fuck all to do with this in all actuality. Ends up getting clubbed with baseball bats.
Yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, told to watch his back. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the next thing you know, there's snake sounds and there's a fucking, what'd you call it? A cartel, the Changaloa Cartel.
That's the name they went by.
And they're shooting rockets at you, and they're bombing your wedding, and they're
He flips a coin too, by the way. Don't forget that. He says just like this, plata or plomo. He makes it sound like a choice, but it's not. It's not your choice, at least. The ring decides. He flicks that shit up, and it goes ding, and it drops. And if it has got a red cross going through it, it means your ass is grass. Shoot you right on the spot.
That's right. That's when you and Bobby got kidnapped, right?
No, it's when we talked to them at the Sandy Shores airfield.
That's right. The two of you were, yeah, you went up to the Sandy Shores airfield and you saw them there and they made you flip the coins. He got shot and you didn't, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you know about that one?
And then they start working with your fucking fiance. Like, this, I mean, admittedly, I mean, you know, you loved her car more than you loved her, but that's still got a sting, right? The two of you, you're signing your marriage contract.
I paid for it, by the way.
You paid for the lawyers even. You do have a lawyer.
Now, Samantha Sanders is actually the one pressing the charges, okay? She's one of the prosecutors for this case that's coming up.
So, you know, there you are on the day of your wedding. You're about to get this 50% ownership of this beautiful one-of-one $14 million car. And
so close.
And she calls up her buddy Mr. K and just has him come and blow your ass up again. And then...
Mr. K, he wasn't there. I didn't see him at the funeral.
At the funeral.
Now, where would you like me?
It should have. Might as well have been a funeral, considering everybody got blown to shit. But
Check
the wedding,
your,
he wasn't there at the wedding. I didn't see him not once.
same
He
spot
gave
for
me.
everybody.
I went to the Jewel Dragon. I got a wedding ring off of him, but that's the last time I saw him. I didn't see him at the wedding. He wasn't there, Bundy.
Really? That's interesting, because about 20 minutes before that bomb went off, he was told exactly where you were at.
I mean, maybe I missed him. There was a bunch of people in the crowd mashed up. Maybe he was one of them, but I didn't see him.
And then we come to a couple hours later that day. And, you're calling up Mr. K, and you're talking to him about stuff. And the next thing you know, two of his boys, they wind up planting a bomb on the SDSO because they want to frame you for it. They want to point. They want to point the finger, and they want.
Where are they watching me from, by the way?
What do you mean?
Where are they?
Right now?
Where's the chief? Yes, where is he?
One is descending down.
He's not attached to
is the
this.
other
He's outside.
actor still down here?
A-firm.
Is he back there?
I'm gonna move him past. So it'll be
Is
hard
he
to
behind
see.
those shutters?
No,
Behind those shutters, isn't he?
He's not behind the shutters.
So where is he?
Well, he's not behind the shutters. I can tell you that much.
You would lie to me. Do you know where he is?
He's in the office down the hall.
Oh. Who's the other person here that they're questioning?
You don't want them to know you're here, Carmine.
Who is it?
You know how you
Who is
played. You know how you played the lawyer card.
Yes?
I gotta play that. I can't comment on ongoing investigations because, unlike you, they are a suspect.
How about I take a guess?
Go ahead.
It's a CG member, isn't it? That's why you don't want
No.
them to see me.
Come on, guessing a CG member in this city. Well, you may as well say it's one of any 50 individuals. Do better than that. Who do you think we got?
It's someone that you think can harm me. So it's probably someone I'm levying allegations against. And I saw his shoes. He's got those ankle socks. There's only one guy in CG that I know wears, he's got shoes with no socks. It's Ramee, isn't it? I shoe ID'd him.
Fuck, you were too goddamn good, Carmine.
Yeah, I am. Hey, Chief. I figured out who you got in the other room.
Yeah, he figured out that we've got Mr. El Ramen down there.
He's getting life, right? For sure.
I'm pretty sure you got
Carmine, I think this is a frame job on you, and I want to prove that it is a frame job on you. But if you're not gonna answer questions for me, I can't help prove that.
Well, you know what they say, the truth will set me free. And you didn't have to look into it that hard to know that I'm being set up.
No, I didn't. But I still need to know what you were talking with Mr. K and some other folks about earlier that day.
I'll answer that later, I told you.
Okay. What did Mr. K say to you when you showed up on scene at the SDSO there? Do you remember that?
I said I'll answer that later.
Okay, well, no, I was talking about the phone calls, and now I'm talking about when you showed up at SDSO, okay? So you don't want to talk about that either.
He accused me of setting up a bomb. The commissioner was there, there were a bunch of officers. They all heard him scream like a crazy person.
Well, I can't fucking ask the commissioner, can I, Carmine?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot. By the way, I'll go on record, okay? I don't have to be a secret informant. I want everybody to know that I snitched. I want everybody to know that I was the one that put the nail in the coffin.
Well,
Then the PD will take me back shortly.
then actually put the nail in the coffin, Carmine, because right now you're hovering that hammer over it, and your hands are shaking. You got to strike true and firm. Tell me what the fuck happened.
I'll tell the chief what happened. I know the chief ain't gonna fuck me over.
Director.
You willing to sign a sworn affidavit?
Or what would that entail?
Do you want to explain their form Bundy?
Yeah. For purposes of the recording, joining me now is the director of the MCU, Brian Knight.
MCU? Who came up with that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A sworn affidavit, it's a notarized document. It's just as good as testimony. If we give that to a
Oh,
court,
but outside the courts? Okay, I understand.
yeah, it's
Means if
like it's
I lie,
something
that's
that-
perjury.
Exactly.
Okay. Good thing I'm not gonna lie, cause my story is the truth. Yes. Yeah, I'll do that sworn affidavit. I agree. If it's you who's asking, Chief.
It is.
Okay, then yes. You have to swear me in and stuff?
Well, part of it's going to be you actually writing your statement out, because that's the signed part. That's the affidavit part. It's in writing.
I gotta sign the affidavit? Or
Yeah.
I gotta write up my statement?
Well, you could start by telling us, and then you can write it down.
Okay. Okay, the affidavit's gonna cover what Mr. K said to me prior before the explosion at Sandy Shores. Just the chief asking. I have a disease. I'm a chronic gambler. This disease is new to me. I started gambling like maybe 5 days ago or so. And first time at the wheel, I won $400,000. When you start gambling and the first thing you do is win, it's not good. It sent me down a path of misery. At one point, I had $600,000 and I was on top of the moon. And well, that was the day this thing at Sandy happened. And well, I spun the wheel. I spun the wheel and I lost everything in an hour of need. I figured, who do I know that'd probably give me a lot of money, and you know, or probably loan shark the shit out of me. And Mr. K came to mind. So I called the devil, and the devil answered, and he said, "If you want this money, 500,000, you can come over to Sandy Shores and you can take it." And you're gonna pay interest on it or whatever. We're gonna hash out the details at Sandy. I get Red Harrington to drive me up there, and as soon as I get up to the building, I hear beeping noises. We back away, and next thing you know, I hear people yelling that there's a bomb inside. And I call Mr. K to ask him why he would tell me to come to a bomb location. Then a bunch of officers, Tessa Lamb being one of them, pulls me to the side, and then they say, "Okay, the commissioner wants you to defuse it." God rest his soul. The commissioner wants you to defuse it, Carmine. I'm like, why the hell does he want me to defuse a bomb? I wasn't even a part of the bomb squad back when I was in the police force. I don't know nothing about no bombs. And then everybody started yelling at me, "Carmine, defuse the bomb! Defuse the bomb!" Mr. K came running out of the building and ran up to me too and started accusing me. Sorry. And then I run towards the building to defuse it, and well, it doesn't work. Then I come back and I ask Mr. K about my money. He kept crying, saying, "Why would you do this, Carmine?" I was too focused on the money. I didn't care about what was going on around me at the time. That's my story. It's what happened.
Who all did you call in relation to the money?
I don't recall calling anyone else but him. The only other person I would know about the money is Red Harrington. He might be able to attest to my story. He was in the car with me here. Probably heard the phone call. Now that I think about it, earlier that day, Francis J. Francis offered me $1 million to stab the commission outside of MRPD. That happened too. That was like maybe 2 to 3 hours before the bombing of Sandy.
Got you. Okay. Did you meet him in person to talk about that, or did you guys talk on the phone?
Phone calls.
Okay.
You can subpoena my phone records. You don't need to. I give consent. You can go through my phone records if you want. I'm a team
perfect.
player. If
Okay.
the MCU needs it, the MCU by God will have it.
Thank you for the permission, Carmine. I
What does it stand
appreciate
for?
it.
Major Crimes Unit.
Oh, of course. Of course.
We're doing it better than Disney is right now.
You
Trying
know
to bring
what?
the value to the name back.
Well, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's a catchy name. And if you're gonna investigate anything, this will probably be it. This right up your alley, right? Precincts being blown up left, right, and center.
Let's talk about the incident yesterday. You said earlier. You said that. Let me look at my notes. You said that psychopath tried to kill me. Something along those lines.
Yes. He was crazy. He was acting belligerent. He was talking to me on the phone like someone was holding him hostage. And I go, the chief was there, Orchardville. We went inside the butchery, and as I was walking in, I could hear screams, wails, and then chainsaw noises, and just yelling, and just sound like a horror movie. Then I make my way down, and I see what I think is him, a man masked up, screaming at me, saying, "You did it, you did it." And he broke the news to me that the commissioner was dead, and he said, "I did it." And he started. Then his pitch changed, and he started screaming for help. Like I knew how to help him. I don't know. She's been crazy. And he chased me, and then everything went dark.
Okay. I mean, you've had quite a few interactions with Mr. K. Did this seem like his normal levels of crazy, or did this seem a notch or
No,
two
this was on
higher?
a whole other level. He was like a voice, like he's going through a whole schizophrenic phase, you know, like schizo as shit.
Yeah,
His
what about,
voice would change, and then he'd start putting on his mask, taking it off. Then half his face would look all scaly and stuff, and it was freaky.
What
It was
about
like-
what about when he was chasing you around making rattlesnake noises? Was it
That was different.
crazier than that?
That wasn't what he did in that Orchardville butchery was leagues above. It was he completely lost it.
Okay. So he calls you. He sounds like he's being held hostage or kidnapped. You, why did you show up? I mean, this is a guy who's blown you up multiple times. Why show up to help him?
You really $500,000. That's why I had no money, Bundy.
So you thought if you showed up to save his life, then he'd give you more money.
No, I was just there to collect on the money he said he'd give me. I didn't give a shit about saving his life.
Got you. Okay. So he chases you through the meat factory. What does he do when he chases you down?
I don't know. I felt like a cold sensation running down my back, and then I collapsed. I couldn't feel my legs no more. I couldn't walk.
Okay. Carmine, is there anything else that you want to tell me about Mr. K, Francis J. Francer, Ramee L. Rahman, Curtis Swolaroid, or any other members of CG and your interactions with them over the last couple of weeks?
I usually when something happens, is usually I deal with them as a group. So nothing like most of the times those incidents was with 3 or 4 of them. You know, mainly it was Mr. K, probably Ramee, and mainly it would be those 2. Mainly.
So mainly
Jolo would be
main-
there sometime too. Curtis maybe sometimes, but mainly it was them.
Moses, thank you for the 5-bomb, brother. You did some stuff? Oh god, what did you do?
Eugene.
Oh no.
Eugene Zuckerberg.
Eugene. What's Eugene got to do with this?
Nothing. I just like saying his name.
Oh, come on. Now I know that I know Eugene and you had some bumping together on an island not too long ago.
Eugene ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not. He had no involvement. I don't know. Eugene wasn't around for most of it.
Okay. Outside of that island incident, y'all didn't really have too much crossover then.
Yeah.
This is payment in advance?
Hey,
What does
I got
that
a question.
mean?
Bundy. Do you
What does
think
that
I'm a bad
mean?
person? Or do you think I'm in a bad situation?
I think that you are an extremely headstrong individual who makes bad choices, and that's how you gotten yourself into a bad situation.
So in other words, good guy in a sticky situation, right?
A good guy with a lot of dumb choices in a sticky situation, yeah.
I'll take it.
Alright, Carmine. I need you to write down what happened the day of that SDSO explosion. This is for the chief, remember, this isn't for me. Sign your name at the bottom of it and drop it in the mailbox at MRPD for me, okay?
All right, I'll get that done.
Alright, I'm going to turn this recording device off. Those back on the walls, those just stay on all the time.
I got a question. Everything you've heard about my story, would you... I believe Bison's looking into a case involving me and a similar situation. Is he involved in this investigation at all?
He is not, no.
Could you involve him in it? Considering he pretty much working, it's like a bunch of different crimes. It's like Rico, you know?
You talking about the incident with you and Zolo,
Yes,
the alleged
yes,
kidnapping?
yes.
I thought you said those charges
Yes.
were dropped.
They were not dropped. I don't know if I don't know what's going on with them, but Bison hasn't heard my statement yet. He hasn't heard my story. And the way he approached the situation, it seemed like he wanted to, you know, he wanted me to incriminate myself. He had a whole sting operation, had Mr. K and stuff in a fucking charger, pretending they were cuffed up and stuff. It was like an entire sting operation, but for me.
Okay, I'll tell you what. The deal you and I had when we came down here was that I would look into who was it that towed your car again?
Moonstar, but I don't really give a shit about that.
Yeah. Well, I'll still potentially put a tampering with a vehicle warrant out on Moonstar. You drop that affidavit in the mail and I receive it. Get it in the mail for me in the next 2 hours. I will. I'll talk to Bison about the status of your charges.
And all you want in the affidavit is the day of Sandy's bombing, right?
I want everything from the first time you spoke with members of CG that day up until the explosion.
All right, I'll get that done. All right, sounds good.
All right.
What's she saying in there? Is she sweating? How many food you got in here? And why is there a Canadian flag back there? Isn't it supposed to be America?
Yeah, I think that's a
There's an
holdover
American
from.
flag back there.
That's a holdover from Bench Guy.
Wait, Bench Guy's Canadian?
I think so. That's what I heard. I'm just gonna start a rumor that Bench Guy's Canadian. Why not? Fuck it. Oh God. Moses, what have you done? Moses, what have you done?
Hey, Bundy, can I be honest?
Well, I would hope that you've been honest the whole goddamn time, Carmine.
Yeah, that was, yes, I was being honest. But this is about you.
Is it about how I have one eye? Because that seems to be all that it's always about.
No, it's not that shallow. It's not that. I never imagined you and the chief to ever work so closely together.
Well, you know, me and Brian, we delayed working together because we thought that it might be a little too terrifying for most people. But whenever precincts are getting blown apart and we got super terrorists like Michael Simone running around out there, maybe the world needs a little terrifying.
Yeah. I still remember LSPD had two houses, the House of Bundy and the House of Knight. Remember that shit? The good old days.
It would have been truly terrifying if we had united under one roof, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Who says that can't happen? Still time?
Ah, no. Libby's the chief now. Brian's the director, and I'm just a senior park ranger.
Hey, Bundy.
Yeah.
If the commissioner's dead, you're not gonna, do a Silas coup d'etat? I figured,
No,
you'd probably try to.
I'm not gonna do a coup on a dead man.
I mean, you did it when he was on vacation. What's the difference?
He was only on vacation for 12 more hours. Normally a crim viewer, but the cops deserve closure and justice for Baas. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can kind of get that.
All right.
Hey,
I should be fine from here.
You don't need to ride out of here, Carmine.
No, I should be good. Gonna take a stroll.
All right.
Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for hearing my story.
Yeah, you're welcome, Carmine. Remember, 2 hours.
Yep. I can't wait to be back on the force with you. I'll make a hell of a ranger. I'm kidding. I would never be caught dead in that book of green uniform. That's just me being honest.
That's okay. The game warden wouldn't hire you anyway, Carmine.
That's not true.